cock your pistols.
Sorry, Mr. Burnham, we're going to have to check your briefcase.
Didn't he tell you, Klaus, that today's Saturday?
Good morning.
Sir, if you would just...
Oh, what's the use here? Keep it. Compliments of Herman Burnham. Your boss will probably think I stole it from him anyway.
We'll have to have your identification badge also.
Anything but love, baby. Have a nice day.
No. No, I don't care what it costs. I can't lose those proxies.
Joey's here.
Hello, Joey.
Hello, boss. Here's your mail.
Thank you, Joey.
Have a nice day.
I can't believe this. I mean, you're destroying the magic. We're so close to being finished.
Close, you are finished. I've got the proxies. I am taking over the company, bringing it back to reality before you or my brother bankrupts it. Now, here's a bulletin. It's over.
No, it's not over. Joey's world is my life, and I'm not letting you throw it away.
Hello, John Gordon. Here's the mail for the lab.
Thank you, Joey 3.
Have a nice day. I love you, John Gordon. I can't give you anything but baby. Hello, beautiful. Joey's here.
I wish you'd stop doing that.
I have a special delivery for your boss.
Go right in.
I can't give you anything but love, baby.
No, by tomorrow. Right.
Joey's here. Have a nice day. I can't give you anything but love.
Murray had been screaming at Houston about spending too much time on his detective agency and none on his empire. So today, Houston promised Murray they'd spend the whole day catching up on a logjam of paperwork. What Houston didn't know was that 2 hours ago, Murray's entire life had been turned upside down.
Houston, thank God you're here. There's not a moment to spare.
Well, now, slow down, Murray. We got all day. I specifically set this whole day aside to read all that needs reading, sign all that needs signing, and generally exec everything that needs exec.
No, you can't.
What do you mean I can't?
Houston, I want to hire you as a detective.
You want to what?
Well, you heard him. What?
It's an important case. And I have to warn you, should you decide to accept this assignment, it could be dangerous. But Houston, I think you're the man for the job.
Well, thank you, Murray. Why don't we talk about this inside?
In a way, of course, it's your fault. You might keep that in mind when we discuss your fee.
Well, consider it kept in mind, Murray. Now, what's your problem?
You know I'm one of the trustees for the Meadowwood Children's Home.
Oh, I remember when you volunteered to help and you invested some money for them. Hoyt Electronics, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because John Gordon Boyd had just signed on to head Hoyt Electronics' video division. It was Houston who showed me the newspaper article. It was his suggestion, in a way.
Well, Murray, I don't give stock tips, but I do know who John Gordon Boyd is. The man's a genius, and everybody around him is going to make buckets of money.
Unless he's arrested for murder.
You want to pass that one by me once again?
Willie Hoyt, vice president and co-owner of Hoyt Electronics, was murdered less than 2 hours ago. Now, the information I have is sketchy, but John Gordon Boyd seems to be a prime suspect.
Well, is there any reason why they suspect him more than anybody else?
It was his robot who did the killing.
His robot, as in mechanical creature?
But of course, Houston, those people at the orphanage trusted me, and now their investment. Please, you've got to help me.
Murray, you got me. I'll do the best I can.
I mean, you'll do it?
Mm-hmm.
You'll take the case?
That's what I just said.
So what are we standing around here for? Come on. We got a case to solve, cowboy.
Well, Murray, I'd like to finish
Let's shake a leg, Houston.
coffee. Yes, sir.
A few years ago, when Houston met John Gordon Boyd, he was, and still is, one of the world's few authentic 200 IQs. Still in his teens, he became a legend of the video game industry and the creative backbone of Hoyt Electronics.
Where's John Gordon? Now tell me, does that look like the face of a killer?
Murray, have you ever heard of Babyface Nelson?
You're a pretty boy, Floyd.
Billy the Kid, and I'm sorry I asked.
Gee, I couldn't believe my ears when Murray called and said you were coming out.
Well, he said you might be in a little bit of trouble, so we decided to wander out. Listen, this is C.J. Parsons. She's my top lawyer and a good person to have around.
I know what to say. I mean, all you being out here. Nobody's ever gone to bat for me before.
Have you ever been in trouble before?
Hello. Please get out of the car, gentlemen. Ma'am.
What's this?
All callers' cars must be searched upon entering or leaving the premises.
Well...
In addition, I need you to wear these identifying badges on your person in plain sight at all times.
Oh, look, please wear the badge. I'd even be stopped if I wasn't wearing one.
Houston, the video game business is a multi-billion-dollar business, but it's a competition of ideas. First one with a Pong or a Pac-Man wins all the marbles.
Mm-hmm. Murray's right. And the industrial theft of ideas is a major problem, so obviously the security has to be intense.
While you're on the premises of Hoyt Electronics, you will not stray from restricted areas.
I'll orient them.
Listen, I'll just pull my car around.
No, look, they'll have to park your car. More rules.
Listen, what happened out here this morning?
Well, Willie Hoyt called a meeting to discuss Joey's World.
Oh, Murray mentioned that. Now, what exactly is Joey's World?
It's the ultimate video game.
It's going to be life-size, Houston. It's incredible. You have to see it to believe it.
Anyway, at the meeting, Willie Hoyt said he was going to take control of the company and cancel Joey's World. I don't know. I'm afraid I threatened him.
Yeah, well, don't worry. The man wasn't threatened to death. He was shot to death. Well, why don't we take a look around, huh?
All right. Whoa!
Why did you shoot him? What am I doing? Do you believe this? I'm a grown man with a wife and 4 kids. I'm supposed to be taking fishing, and I'm here interrogating a tin can.
Don't handle him like that.
It's only a toy.
Robots are not toys. They're changing our world. They're doing the jobs that we don't want to do.
Really? What job didn't you want to do?
John Gordon, why don't you and I talk privately as your possible lawyer?
Don't you see? I mean, Joey 3 delivers mail, but I could adjust him to Arkwell car bodies or dispose of toxic waste in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, how about firing a gun? How long would that take you to rig?
The possibilities are infinite.
I'll keep that in mind.
CJ, why don't you take John Gordon for a little walk?
Great idea. John Gordon, why don't you and I take a little walk?
Catch up with you in a minute.
It's a spooky kid.
Well, Vince, he's a dreamer. I mean, he sees things a little differently than most of us. How's this little fella work?
You just talk to him. He's got some kind of voice programming or something. It sounds complicated, but it isn't. Anybody can give him instructions by inserting a tape cassette.
Anyone, huh? What's your name?
Joey, what's yours?
Got Matt Houston. I'm a friend of John Gordon's.
John Gordon's a nut, but I love him anyway.
Why'd you kill Willie Hoyt?
Want to try a rubber hose?
Come on, Vance. Feeling okay, Joey?
All systems are go.
How long you worked here, Joey?
I was born here.
Well, listen, have you got any idea who put put that gun in your hand?
Why didn't he answer?
I don't think he knows. A robot can only respond with information that's been programmed into him.
So in other words, he's got no memory of the murder because that information's not on the tape that's inside of it.
That's right.
So how'd he fire the gun?
That's a very good question, Vance.
John Gordon would like Mr. Houston to meet him in Joey's world.
Well, lead the way. Another one.
It's okay, Riley. He's with me. John Gordon asked that you go downstairs, Mr. Houston.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
All right, you go now.
Houston? John Gordon may have a 200 IQ, but Alice in Wonderland and Tinkerbell have nothing on him.
All right, you go now.
Well, I tell you, this looks like fun.
I knew you'd like it. Isn't it wonderful?
It's certainly, I mean, it's more than I expected. This is really terrific.
Children all over the world will actually get to live out their fantasies and get inside.
Inside the video game.
Uh-huh, exactly. And this is only the working model to get out the kinks. There's gonna be a waterfall and an outer space part with a rocket ride. It's gonna cover acres, take all day.
Yeah, listen, I want to take a look in here, because...
Oh, no, that's impossible. A total breach of security.
Yeah, well, the ladies just went in there.
They work here. They're secretaries during the week. On the weekends, there are test players.
So these girls have been cleared by security?
Oh, completely.
Yeah, well, what am I, chopped coyote meat? I mean, I'm a pretty trustworthy guy.
Look, I'm sorry, Mr. Houston. I know you're trying to help me, but I just can't. I guess it is kind of unfair to have you come all the way down here and just get to see the outside. I'll tell you what. If you promise not to say anything to anybody, I'll let you watch for a while, okay?
Oh, mum's the word.
Yeah, Scout's honor across my heart.
All right, come on, let's go. All right, put your hand right there. Go ahead.
A blonde and brunette, so pretty to see. But now that we've trapped you, you'll never get free. By golly, by gosh, it's time for your ride!
You lose, Miss Stevenson. See, it's just like a video game. When Joey shoots you, you're out. I think I've let you see enough. Joey 5, why don't you go back inside to join the fun?
Oh, boy, charge!
Tell me something, John Gordon. How do these robots know where to aim their blast of water?
Now, that's what took me the longest time to develop. It's a homing device in the badges that the girls are wearing. The same way that Joey knew to come right to you and bring you down here.
Oh, I see. So it's because of my badge that he knows that I'm me.
Uh-huh. Because I programmed him to know that.
Does that mean that the robot who killed Willie Hoyt was programmed to kill him because of his badge?
Probably.
Yeah, well, who else in this company knows how to program those things?
Practically anybody that worked on the project. You see, designing the homing device was the hard part. I tried to make the programming of the Joes as simple as possible. To tell you the truth, I kind of hope that one day every kid can have his own Joey.
That's a good idea. I tell you, I wish I would have had one of these things when I was a kid. I mean, it's great. Yeah.
Who programmed Joey to kill Willie Hoyt? The answer is any one of the four following people. They were all in the area of security before or during the time of the killing. Here you have John Gordon Boyd, Hoyt's creative genius.
Yeah, when John Gordon Boyd was showing off Joey's World to us, I tell you, I saw something in his eyes, and it was a little funny. It was almost fanatic-like. Yeah, who's next?
Next, we have Richard Hoyt, the dead man's older brother. Apparently, the two brothers built the company up together, but young Willie objected to the money being used to develop Joey's World. So he and a couple of the other shareholders were about to take over the company.
Uh-huh. So Richard was on his way out. Yeah, well, people have been known to kill for less.
You bet. Now, here we have Herman Burnham, the owner of Burnham Electronics and Hoyt's #1 competition.
Yeah, I know him. He tried to get me into a business deal one time.
Well, from the tone of your voice, it doesn't sound like it was a barrel of laughs.
Yeah, about as much fun as finding a diamondback rattler in your boot. CJ, that man's a crook. From what I hear, he left Hoyt Electronics just 5 minutes before the murder.
And last but not least, we have the deceased secretary, Miss Glynis Duran. She's single, impeccable credentials. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with her, CJ.
That figures. Expensive for a secretary, doesn't it?
Sure does. Duran! Duran! CJ, I'm getting a funny feeling.
I know what you mean.
Better check upstairs. Miss Duran!
This one's for the police, Houston.
You might be right.
Look at this. Blueprints. CJ, would you look at here? These were taken out of Joey's World.
They certainly were. What did she want, besides your best side?
Hey! Stop doing that.
Good idea.
She hadn't done that.
Do you recognize him?
Yeah, it's Hoyt Electronics' chief rival and my favorite crook, Burnham. Is Mr. Burnham home?
How would you like to have your head stuffed through your collar?
But no. Yeah, I mean, not really. Listen, yeah, if I could... Yeah, listen, now, and you really don't understand this. See, I'm just a passing motorist. Now, I was going by, I saw Mr. Burnham's name on the mailbox and thought he might like to know that his car's on fire. Oh, it's a big fire. I think you better take a look at that.
Houston, what are you doing here? As far as you're concerned, I'm in South America.
No, you're not, Herman. Especially since you took the photos out of Miss Duran's house. You see, where I come from, they call that breaking and entering.
Only if the lady presses charges.
Yeah, wait a minute. Would you explain that for me?
What I meant was I met Glynis at the Hoyt place, and she seemed like a nice lady, that's all.
I get it now. Yeah, you bribed her to spy for you.
So what? I mean, Hoyt stole from me, too. That's part of my business. You don't think so? Look at this. It says Joey's World, I'm Marvin's Maze. Two guys working on the same idea at the same time. Now, did he steal the idea from me? Who knows?
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about honor among you two thieves. I'm talking about murder. You remember Willie Hoyt. Yes, he was murdered.
Now, why would I do that?
Because you're a greedy man. And I know that there are billions involved in this electronic video game business. And who comes first at it? Now, why don't you just tell me why you were at Hoyt Industries this morning?
I had a meeting with Richard Hoyt. Like Marvin's Maze, Joey's World is incredibly expensive to develop. So Richard wanted to bring me in as a partner, so we worked together. That way, maybe neither one of us would go broke.
Yeah, but Willie didn't want that. No, sir, he wanted to see Joey's World go down the tubes all the way. And I tell you something, that gives you a very good reason for wanting him dead.
That's true, but I didn't do it.
Blueprints? Photos of her boss. What's it mean?
Who are you and what are you doing in my house?
Well, I'm C.J. Parson, and Matt Houston had dropped by earlier to talk to you.
How dare you? I'm calling the police.
Well, you don't have to do that, because I've already done it. But there are a few things we would like to discuss.
Oh, you would you?
Miss Durand, we can gather a great deal from those photographs, but...
Get out.
Well, you don't have to get riled up. We just want to ask you a few questions.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Novelli. I'd like to talk to you, too.
Do you have a warrant?
Why would I need a warrant? I was told this place was burglarized.
You were told wrong. Now I'd like you both to leave.
We do need to discuss those photographs.
Photography is my hobby. Any other questions?
I guess not.
Now, why would she ask for a warrant?
The lady asks good questions.
What lady?
Hi, Houston.
Hello there.
Well, this is it. This is where we're gonna build Joey's World. Isn't this wonderful?
Well, this is really nice.
Do you think when Walt Disney was a little boy, that he could see Disneyland, even without knowing exactly what it would be? That he could actually see all those wonderful things, what they would be someday?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I've always seen Joey's World. Why don't you just stop digging, Houston? I mean, just go away. Look, in a couple of days, the police will get tired, and that'll be that. Because I'll tell you, I just can't take the upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But I tell you something, the police are not just going to give up and go away until they find a killer, and I'm not either. You know what I mean? Mr. Hoyt, my name's Matt Houston.
Yes, I know. John Gordon told me about you.
Listen, I hate to bother you any more than I have to, but you see, my client's got a very big interest in Hoyt Industries, and while I've been looking into the death of your brother, I'm afraid I uncovered an industrial spy in your company.
A spy? Who?
Well, I'm afraid it's your brother's secretary, Glynis Durand.
I'm stunned. Do you think she or Burnham could be the one behind the killing?
Oh, you see, that's all very possible, but, yeah, let me remind you again now, this whole spy business is strictly for my client's interest. Now, it's very possible it could have been either one of them. For that matter, it, might be John Gordon. As far as that goes, it might very possibly be you. But we'll keep in touch. CJ, I'll tell you what really bothers me, and that's that the cowboy code says that you cannot hit a smaller man. But I'll tell you something, in John Gordon Boyd's case, I'm about to make an exception.
Well, you don't know for sure that he broke your brake line.
Oh, come on, CJ, who else was there?
Well, you don't know for sure that anybody broke your brake line. You could have kicked up a rock and broken it yourself.
If I may make a suggestion?
Oh, come on, a rock? Oh, my Aunt Millie's armadillo.
Time is running out. And I beg to remind you that John Gordon Boyd is our client. The orphans are depending on him. Therefore, wouldn't it be more constructive to direct your investigation elsewhere? Couldn't you make the murderer one of the other suspects?
Maybe you can hit a smaller man if he's smarter than you.
Now, Richard told me not to talk with you, Houston.
Yeah, well, Richard does not count right now. John Gordon, you are going to talk to me whether you like it or not.
Goodbye, Houston.
You just hold up.
What are you doing? This is ridiculous. You're wasting your time.
Now, John Gordon, you are going to talk to me.
What's going on? Wait,
I'm going to find a baseball
what
bat.
are you doing? This is ridiculous. Will you let me down?
A piñata. John Gordon, you are going to talk to me.
All right, what do you want to know?
First, I want to know why Richard told you not to talk to me.
Because you might find me guilty.
Well, are you guilty? I mean, did you kill Willie Hoyt?
Of course not. Look, Richard said with all your poking around, who knows what results you might come up with.
Hopefully the right ones. That's what I'm looking for. Now, Willie Hoyt was not the only one you did a number on. Now, why'd you try to kill me?
What are you talking about?
My brake line. You cut my brake line out on the hillside. Now, Hoyt and yourself were the only ones there, and I talked to him till I left. Now, it had to be you.
I don't know anything about your brake line. Why didn't you ask Burnham?
Burnham?
Yeah, he was supposed to meet us out there, too.
Well, now, if you tell me Miss Glennis Duran was supposed to show up out there, I'd just figure it was a nice big family picnic.
She was there. Didn't you see her?
No, but maybe I should.
Oh, don't worry about it, Houston. Joey, will you please?
Immediately, John Gordon. What should we do to Mr. Houston?
See, Houston? My Joey's can do lots of things. You know, that really wasn't very nice of you to hang me up there. Mm-mm. Not very nice at all.
Should we make him inoperative? We can dismantle him. We're waiting, John Gordon. We're waiting, John Gordon.
I'll talk to you later. Well, you're an industrious lady working on Sunday.
I'm cleaning out my office. I have been fired thanks to your meddling.
Oh, now, come on. You can't be angry at me for finding out you were spying for Burnham. I mean, that's my job.
You wouldn't understand. Anyway, it doesn't matter now that Willie's gone.
Willie? You called him Willie, not Mr. Hoyt?
What's the matter, Mr. Houston? Don't I look the part? That's right. I was Willie's lady. No one knew it. Now it doesn't matter if they know.
So you loved him, huh?
More than I could tell you.
I'll tell you something, it's easy to say that you love somebody, but I mean, really, here you are stealing all of his secrets and selling them to Burnham. I mean, unless he wanted you to steal those secrets and sell them to Burnham. That's it, isn't it? Yeah, because he would have done anything to keep Joey's world from getting off the ground. And Burnham double-crossed him, went in partners with Willie's brother, just to finish up Joey's world.
When Willie found out, he said he'd kill Burnham.
Yeah, unless Burnham got to him first.
CJ, listen, get Holden the belly and tell him to meet me over at Burnham's. If I'm not mistaken, that man has just become our #1 candidate for killer.
Will do.
Right.
Bye.
You again? How do you keep getting past my man?
Well, you see, it's survival instincts. You see, I have this reverence for life, especially my own. You really ought to have the same reverence, Mr. Burnham.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'll tell you something. It's really quite simple. You can... Oh, now wait, listen, I'm just having a little chat with your boss here.
Don't shoot! I didn't kill him! Don't shoot, please! I didn't kill him.
What are you doing with a gun in your hand?
I came to talk to Burnham. I heard shots. Look, I always carry a gun for my own protection.
Well, until we find out whether that gun shot Burnham, we're gonna have to take you in, Mr. Hoyt.
But...
Hello.
Hi. I'm here to see John Gordon Boyd.
Yes, please wear this badge in plain sight at all times and check in with the guard inside.
You bet. Hello? Hello? Oh, you scared me. What happened to...
You're to follow me.
I think I'll come back another time.
John Gordon's at Joey's World. I'm supposed to take you and Mr. Houston there.
Well, Mr. Houston isn't here right now, but I have an idea. I'll go get him, and...
Please, I'm supposed to give you something.
Ow!
It's 4:45. There's no one in the place except you and me.
Murray. Murray, I didn't know you played the piano.
I got a little story I want you to know.
I didn't know you drank either.
My friend.
Must be that kind of night, huh? I think I'll join you.
Of a brief episode.
Listen, Murray, I can't tell you what a mess this whole thing is in. I mean, it's got me all mixed up. Now, I could have sworn it was John Gordon Boyd, and I could have sworn it was Burnham. But then here comes Richard Hoyt, bigger and alive, standing there with a gun in his hand. The only trouble is that gun wasn't smoking, no, sir. You see, he pulls up to Burnham's house, hears shots, gets scared, reaches in his glove box, grabs a gun, but he never fires it. The events in his lab proved that, and it just messed everything up. So who killed Hoyt? Who killed Burnham?
Want you to know.
Where's CJ?
My baby. I want more for the road.
Murray, what are all these documents here?
And one
Murray, that's the mortgage to your house.
For the... Mr. Matlock. All those poor little orphans out in the snow.
Murray, it doesn't snow here.
The children's home. They trusted me. They depended on me.
So you're gonna mortgage your house just to bail them out, huh?
They trusted me. Matlock. And tomorrow, the stock is gonna fall out of bed right down the old drain, and the orphans right along with them. You didn't solve the case. I don't blame you. It's not your fault. It's mine. Where's CJ?
I just asked you that, Murray.
Oh. That's right. She got a phone call. It sounded urgent. Meet John Gordon Boyd at the factory.
Well, it's a little late at night, isn't it?
John Gordon Boyd's secretary called. It sounded urgent.
Murray, John Gordon Boyd does not have a secretary. CJ!
If you're looking for CJ, don't search high and low. Joey's World is the place to go.
Who's your voice today, Joey? Who sent you to fetch me?
Follow me if you want CJ alive.
You get me to CJ. This isn't funny anymore, Joey.
Double the grind. Welcome to our dungeon. The fun has just begun. Be careful where you walk now, or you'll be overrun. Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
CJ, I'll get you out of there.
Houston! Behind you! You seem to have a lot of luck, but soon you'll need a big duck. Fog and doom go hand in hand. Your fate is now at our command. Just wait behind a door or two. Joey's got a surprise for you.
You haven't caught me yet.
Well, when the stock market opened on Monday, Hoyt Electronics stock was as solid as ever. With the arrest of Linus, John Gordon was cleared, and soon, his dream of Joey's world would be a reality.
Listen, thank you.
Now, Houston, you scratch your John Hancock on this one, and we're done. Murray, good to see you. You'll be thrilled to know that we're all through with our work. Murray?
Maybe I found him like this, you see. I tell you, he looks like a fish that's been on the creek bank for several days. Are you feeling any better, Murray?
Houston, that brandy. I will never, never, never drink again. I swear to you, I will never touch another drop. What's this? Someone's got the same name I do.
It's not the same name, Murray. It's for you.
Yeah, listen, Murray. Maybe you shouldn't look at that right now. I mean, there's a better time.
It's a bill from you.
Well, Murray, you did hire Houston, so we thought we ought to itemize things a bit for you.
Murray, hold on. Just
a deal's a deal.
Listen, Murray. It's just a joke. The whole thing's a joke.
A joke.